glad you mentioned youth there, because as Plan International, we are a organization that advances children's rights and equality for girls, and we would like, as part of that efforts or centrally to that efforts, are the leadership of young people, the participation, the engagement, that also including sharing the power, and most importantly also listening to them. Now, in the past few days in Jakarta, you've met with young people. This country is a young country with a lot of we're waiting for the demographic bonus, where these young people can fulfill their potential. What do you see are the key challenges for Indonesia to realize that demographic bonus?
Well, it is the right thing to do. When we say that we are developing an agenda for the future, now that future is with us here today, and that future is 60 to 70% young people comprised of the so-called future. They are with us here today. So I fail to understand in my head why we would sit and develop an agenda for the next 20, 30, 40 years without allowing the young people to shape their own agenda for their own future. It therefore makes sense to me that when we develop a framework for development, that it is led by young people, that they determine what that future means for them. Now, if you want to co-create, because it is not only the young people, still about 25% is still different demographic trends that we see, we can co-create, but co-create with the young people. And that means that in every single process that we embark on shaping development, I would like to see that the young people sit at that table, set the agenda, and lead the discourse. We are not doing enough of it. So we have sort of relegated young people to mere activists, that when you have climate change platforms and meetings that we call at the UN level and the others, that we invite young people just as ambassadors and activists. I would like that when we bring young people into these platforms, that young people are seen as strategic thinkers that can help us shape that agenda and not just be used as ambassadors and activists. So I think that we have to change the way we look at young people and invite them at the table. In fact, I dare say that even if we don't invite them, they'll invite themselves already. In my engagement with the team in Jakarta just a few days ago, I was seeing a vibrant group of people who really know what that future looks like and what they want from that future. It only makes sense, therefore, that we invite them so that they can shape that future together with us in a co-creation model. We are not going to see change and transformation if we put the young people aside. So, two things we need to do. We need to trust. We need to trust them more. Today, I think the trust level is diminishing. We still want to hold back. When we trust young people and let them lead and let them bring that change and transformation, it is a great thing to see. It's the same thing with girls and women. When we have girls and women as leaders and we bring them together to make that change and transformation, the whole world will thrive. But there is this fear that I see, that we don't want to place girls and women to lead. And they are the best leaders I've seen in the world today. It is true. Girls, women, leadership, active political participation, it has to happen now. Because it is only through that we will be able to see development in our countries and people will thrive. And so my viewpoint is very clear. I joined Plan International because of that realization that if we have to drive meaningful change and transformation, we've got to bring young people at the core of that transformation. But most importantly, a focus on girls, that an educated girl in a particular community, you bring that to scale, we will see a thriving community. So that is my motivation, and that is why, perhaps just to mention here, that it is disheartening to see that majority and most of the girls in many countries today still don't access education. It is unacceptable. That we need to speak to the governments, we need to ensure that there's universal education for girls and children effectively. But it is important that we embrace and trust the young people with the leadership that they can bring that change and this transformation in the world.
Thank you. So I would agree that they're not just leaders of the future, they are leaders now in their communities, their school, their groups, and they are, very creative, and they can give a lot of examples and leading us. So lead these changes together with young people. Now, my last question related to leadership. Stephen, you're coming originally from Uganda. This is a southern countries. Can I say it's a southern countries? So even though you have been living a long time in Ireland, probably part of your soul connect with this identity of being from the south. And we've been asked, and then we're asking our young people to claim the space and be the leader, express their voices. But that's beautiful. But there are things that we need also to develop, because it's supply and demand of leadership to take on the power. What would be your advice for young people to get them ready even better to take up these leadership positions at the global level? I'm not just speaking at the local level, district, but I think Indonesian youth are ready for the global level. What would your advice?
3 levels of advice. One is patience. Young people that I meet today are not patient. They want to see the results today. If you want to achieve development, if you want to see results, you've got to be patient and working hard. And that brings me to my second point, discipline. Young people have got to be disciplined. There's a lot of distraction in the world today. A lot of these distractions are disruptors in life. We see a lot of young people not engage in meaningful contributions to life and to development because of those distractions. That, for me, I call discipline. So we've got to be patient, we've got to be disciplined, and the third one for me is the idea that you work hard. Now, success will not come with being lazy. You've got to work hard. So my advice to young people, really, those 3 things, they seem very simple, but they're difficult to accomplish. That you have to be patient, you have to be disciplined, and you have to work hard. Now, I see that I don't want to compare myself during the time that we were growing up and today, because those are 2 different worlds. But I see that in the world we live in today, young people want to drive a Mercedes-Benz immediately. Young people want to have a big home immediately. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that if you work hard and achieve it. But the idea that you want to run very fast to get that, and that you are distracted, and that you want to arrive there very early, I think this is something that I'm saying with a clean heart, not that it's a bad thing to do. I think it's good that we create wealth. It's good that we can talk big and have ambition. But I think we've got to be objective enough and see that we develop it systematically. So be patient with what we set ourselves out to do. Be very clear in developing that plan of action. Set your own agenda and be patient in meeting that agenda. But then be disciplined in doing it, and then work hard. Then success will come. So that is really my sort of approach to life, and that really is what I have done. And many people who have done the same probably have seen success. But I think it is important to say that people are different and contexts are different. People have different ways of seeing things. I know of very many young people today who have been very successful in their 20s, in their 30s, and that's not a problem. Some of them work extremely hard, but also I know a majority who become so impatient, and then when life doesn't really make sense, they give up and they go into these distractions I was describing earlier because they want to see instant success. Please be patient, work hard, be disciplined, and success will come.
Stephen Omollo, CEO of Plan International, thank you for sharing with us, for inspiring us. but most importantly for speaking from the heart. Dini Widyasuti from Plan Indonesia. This is our first podcast in Inspito. Thank you and see you again. Bye-bye.
Bye.